In Super Bowl 35, where he was named Super Bowl MVP, and again in Super Bowl 47, a three-time Pro Bowler and three-time AFC Defensive Player of the Year, and now, of course, an ESPN analyst and an author. Your new book, I Feel Like Going On, Life, Game, and Glory. We welcome to the desk Ray Lewis.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure to see you.
Guys.
Look, man, we running out of time, so let me get right to it, okay? Why this book? Why now?
Yeah, everything got quiet. I retired. I let the story die down, everything. And I think now a lot of people seen my story, but nobody's ever told my story. And so I think with all of the requests and all of the things that I've been asked to do, man, from the cancer patients to people suffering with this, people suffering with that, it's like my opportunity to say, you know what? You may have seen part of my story, but I promise you, if you keep going, you know, there's glory on the other side of it. So I thought it was appropriate time.
Okay. Pardon the harsh transition here, but we got to talk some football, and we're about out of time.
Yeah.
Your Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
How much are they missing having a you in that locker room right now?
Yeah, it's different. It's different. They have to start all over, right? And you see franchises go through things like this, but they don't have that cornerstone yet, right? And for years they was graced with that, right? It was what we created in Baltimore, what Ozzie Newsome did in 1996, and now they have to create that. When you see, you know, the games, it's the offense one week, it's the defense the next week, and then you look for that one person that you say, who is that one person, right? That they go to.
Who is it?
Yeah.
Is it Steve Smith? Is it?
Well, you know, Steve is, he come from another place, so it's a little bit different because he's a leader of his own, right? He plays the game one way, but it's going to have to be somebody that's going to be looked towards the future, right? What does the future look like for the Baltimore Ravens?
So many questions about Peyton Manning right now. I'm wondering whether or not you believe he has an even better opportunity to win than in recent memory because of that defense. And I know how you feel about defenses, or are you noticing a decline of Peyton Manning?
Well, listen, you know, everything declines, I think, but when you see the way Denver's defense is playing football right now, you can win a Super Bowl with a quarterback with that type of experience. Because anytime you have that type of experience, if you're Peyton Manning, you don't have to do everything. And I think the way Denver is playing, the turnover ratio right now is incredible with what they're doing. And I think the field position of what they're really doing, Peyton doesn't have to be Peyton, the Superman Peyton no more, right? He just has to get the ball out of his hands and let this play.
Could you please tell him that the Dallas Cowboys have minimal to no chance of winning a Super Bowl? Can we get that?
Go ahead. Go to no chance, please.
Could you tell us? Could you tell him that?
It's a tough climb for the Cowboys. It's a real tough climb.
Is it over?
You know what? You never know when it's over, right? And I always say that. Who do you pick? Who's the Super Bowl champ? Who do you have fun with? And I always say, listen, playoff time is always going to be the team that gets hot.
What about Seattle? Because I'm wondering what I've been seeing from them, and I'm seeing their defense is fragmenting, and you always talk about defenses needing to be together. I don't see that in Seattle right now.
Yeah, it's all communication, man. And when you think about, you know, those type of defenses, right? I just had this conversation. One of the guys responded about the difference of good and great defenses, right? You know, good defenses can really be good for a year or two and things like that. But when you start to become great, the players take ownership of the defense, right? And you don't have to. It doesn't turn out to point finger. No, me and Rod Wilson, we ain't finna point fingers. No, we finna say, listen, tight end come up the seam, you gonna take him right now, I'm gonna close to this. Yes, you're gonna communicate with all of that. But when you see the miscommunication that's going on, I think it's something I don't really know where to put my finger on.
You were instrumental in getting Cam back in the fold, Cam Chancellor.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of people began to view him as a savior for that defense, which I thought was a little unfair to him. Would you agree with that? How
he's the boom of that defense. Yeah, he's definitely the mentality of that defense, right? When you think about Seattle and everything that they do, he brings fear when it comes to how is that defense looked at. But when you talk about the savior of that defense, it's just so many other pieces, so many unsung heroes. I think they have one of the greatest 4, 5, 6-man rotations from their defensive line that really makes them a dominant football team.
What were your thoughts about Chip Kelly when you heard all this news in the offseason, the myriad of complaints that we don't even have enough time to get into? But you heard what you heard about Chip Kelly in Philadelphia, and then you saw them perform. What are your thoughts about what's been going on in Philadelphia and what's going on there now?
You know, I think my real thoughts is I would love to sit down and ask him, like, when you made that transition to get rid of all of those people, right? How did you convince DeMarco Murray to come here? How did you convince someone to go from that style of running north and south to now east and west, because I think Philly doesn't move without DeMarco Murray. And I think, you know, Sam Bradford, I don't know if he's ever that guy, right? We don't know.
He calls him Sam Badford.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he was the other night.
Yeah, and so I just think it's an identity, right? When you release all of those people who were Philly, you know, picked, and now you bring in a bunch of journeymen here, there, add them in. So I don't think that formula works.
Just last quick question,
Yeah.
quick answer. Do you still believe that Tom Brady cheated and lied about it?
I tell you what I do believe is I believe that there's certain things that New England, no matter what they do, they will never be able to get over. You know, because it's factual enough, right?
You're
There's
going
enough.
back in the
Yeah,
past.
all the way back, all the way
right.
back,
The
and the history of who we are, right, as players, coming all the way.
Tuck Rule, Spygate.
All of it, and that's forever throughout his career. He can say what he wants to say. They can say what they want to say, but it will always follow them.
Okay.
13-time Pro Bowler. When you have as many accolades as you do, it's hard to mess him up. I apologize.
Yeah.
You know, the beauty of it, too, is that this is my brother right here, so
Yeah.
it's good to see him. And as big as he is, it's
Yeah.
nice to know he'd never want to hit me. He'd want to protect me.
Ray, thank you so